Welcome to BDS Beans FFs. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. One went towards washroom for fifth time today. She was feeling nauseous, and at this point, she was feeling so drained and out of energy. Two, she leaned against the sink, trying to catch her breath and splash some water on her face, hoping it will help ease the queasiness in her stomach. Just take rest, daughter. I and others will handle the rest, Adme told her after she saw her condition. I'm fine, Ajuma, she smiles as she took a step only to stumble, but before she fell down, a firm grip held her in place, making her to look up towards the source of her protector. Her heart fluttered and a soft smile crossed her lips to see Jungkook, who was holding her friendly yet gently, while staring her with soft and worried eyes. Are you okay? She nods. She's not fine, master. She threw up multiple times today. I can't even count at the moment. I don't know what this girl eats yesterday. When Britta Lowell, slightly feeling embarrassed, twitched scolded in front of Jungkook, her boss's son, whom she was in a secret relationship. I'm really fine. Wen tried to protest, but Mrs. Lee shook her head in frustration, clearly unconvinced by Wen's words. You're definitely not fine, she stated bluntly. You need to rest. I shall ask the other maids to finish your duties for today. Go and lie down. One sighs, nodding as Mrs. Lee left, leaving Jungkook and went alone. Let's go to see a doctor. One eyes widened in shock. It must be just food poisoning. Point tried to reason, but he shakes his head at no and drag her with him. We're going to see Doctor Baby, he murmured softly as he creased her cheeks. It's already late, Jungkook. I'll go to see doctor tomorrow, I promise. He was not convinced at first, but she somehow managed to convince him. Fine, if I find out you didn't win tomorrow too, it won't be good for you. When bit her low lip, she loves his dominating alpha side, as she just nodded in response. One went to see Doctor as promised, but what she got to know shock her to core. Congratulations, you're going to be mother soon. You're pregnant when I widened in shock. Her smiles drop. She don't know either she have to be happy or sad now, as she just nods numbly and gave Doctor a failed attempt to smile. All those morning sickness and feeling nauseousness was symptoms of pregnancy. You don't need to be worried about it. I would recommend you these. Just take them on time and don't forget your monthly checkup. When not scrubbing prescription as just got up to leave in days. What happened? What the doctor says. When bit her lower lip, not knowing what to reply. Just food poisoning, nothing serious. The other maid nods and left from there. One went towards her room and burst into tears. She was feeling so helplessness at the moment. She don't know what to do now. Do she tell Jungkook? But what do she tell him? You're going to be a father of your maid's child? What if he don't accept, especially when she knew he don't even like childs? When remember a conversation with him a long time ago. I don't like children's when, so having one of myself is my least priority. His words echoes in her ear and she burst into more tears. What will I do now? God, she sobs more. No, I can't tell Jungkook. One muttered to herself while rubbing her eyes. What's happening in future? I'll think about it later. But as for now, I won't tell Jungkook about anything. I will never tell him about my pregnancy, she murmurs, while tears of pain was continuously dripping from her eyes. Days start passing and one start avoiding Jungkook. In the other hand, he have also noticed her behavior. I never stay away from him and he knew she's talkative person, but as in for now last few days her personality and nature have completely changed. Even though when he calls her or asks her about something, she replied in a short sentence and left right after. While him being a CEO of a company have its own responsibilities too. It's been a month till Gwen got to know about her pregnancy and her being distant from Jungkook. He did many times to figure out what's wrong. Why was she suddenly being distant? But no use. Gwen never tell him about her pregnancy and about the truth. It was hurting her too, but she can't help it. Say she was more than afraid than she could accept it aloud. It was true. She was beyond afraid for her future and well-being of her unborn baby. One was 24 and works as a maid in Jungkook's house, while Jungkook was 32 and CEO and son of your boss. They have this undeniable chemistry between them whenever they're under the same roof, and sooner he approached her as she has same feelings from his turns into secret and forbidden relationship. It is her most favorite place from whole mansion, and fortunately or maybe unfortunately, it was also in Jungkook's room. One look outside the magnificent view of Hall Mansion and neighborhood with a beautiful view of beach, a smile creep her lips. You like the view too, don't you? She murmured, squeezing her almost invisible baby bump. Or maybe he or she likes this room more because it belongs to his father, her subconsciousness said, and her smiles faded away immediately. And her heart drops in a bit of her stomach. But she immediately gathered herself and courage to not think about it, as she immediately leave from there. But what Wen didn't knew is someone else have watched her there too. Wen was watching plants when Jungkook saw her as he slowly approaches her and cleared his throat to get her attention. She slightly flinched to find an outsider in her personal space when she was just lost in her own thoughts as she snapped towards him in anger. What kind of stupidity it is, Jungkook, she hissed, and he raised a brow. It was almost after more than a month when she called him by his name, because from the last month he have been master for her. My apologies. It wasn't my intention. What are you up to? When stir him as if he have grown two horns. Can't you see what I'm doing? She hissed. It was not her normal nature. Normally, she's always sweet, calm, and collected. Bubbly pregnancy hormones was not helping the situation, and he was visibly noticing her behavior too. Probably I'm dumb, he grins, and one rolls her eyes as she turns to the other side with a smile. He was staring her, and to avoid him and a conversation with him, she went a little far from there to water the plants, but she can still feel Jungkook's gaze on her back as she bit her lower lip, being a little cautious of her snarling. And his gaze, and in the moment she didn't pay attention where was she moving, and her feet slipped, making her feel of pain shot up in her body. Jungkook eyes widened as he immediately ran towards her. One looks down, praying everything could be fine. Her heart was breaking in pain as some tears rolled down her eyes. When he calls her as he tried to help her, Gwen looks towards him and a sob left her mouth with tears. Hospital Jungkook. She was feeling pain in her lower abdomen and that was scaring her. Please take me to hospital, he nods, and without wasting another second, he picked her in his arm and ran towards his car. Mr. John, doctor calls, and he immediately looks up towards the sorts of face and went towards her. Yes, yes, doctor. A mother and child is fine, no need to worry, but her body is too weak, and there are high chance of complications in future. So I'll suggest you to take special care of her throughout her pregnancy. Jungkook's heart stopped. His mind was focused on a single word. Pregnant, he murmurs in daze, and doctor raised a brow in confusion. She's pregnant. Doctor nods in approval, and something twisted inside him. So his gut feeling was right, as he stumbled on his feet, but composed himself, masking a cold face. How long? His voice was now hard, and face motionless. A month and a half. Chinga clenched in anger bubbling up in his system. So now he knew the reason of her being distant. He was mad, beyond mad. When she will get back her consciousness? Probably in an hour. And what about the complications you were saying? Doctor stared him for a brief moment as if trying to read his mind. I'm sorry, what's your relation with her? He closed his eyes while gritting his teeth. Good question, his mind said, and he let out a heavy sigh. I'm father of the child. The doctor made a oh face and nods. Can you please explain about her condition and complication in details? She nods. Of course, Mr. John, please come to my office. He nods, following her behind. When Jungkook, who was driving silently as she bit her nails in nervousness, by now she's sure he knew about her pregnancy, and she can sense that he was angry, even from this far, but he didn't speak a single word from the time he got back the consciousness. Why you hide it from me? His stern, deep growl sent a shiver down her spine. I was, she murmured slowly as he stopped Scar with a halt in the middle of the road, came out and went towards the side whence heart was beating in her ribcage. He was beyond angry, she can sense it from a mile, as she gulped a nervous lump and came outside. Was he going to dump her? Endeavor, she pouts as if she's ready to cry on her fate, and suddenly came outside. Jung starts talking hard and she just following him behind. His silence was, if you wanna yell, tell her to baby, he will just say it, but to her surprise and maybe by luck, he was awfully quiet and that was not helping the situation. She was walking while looking down as she bumped his back and slightly immediately turns towards her side. Are you okay? She nods while rubbing her forehead. He just silently stared at her for a few seconds and then his gaze moved towards her belly and a smile crept his lips. Come here, baby. He opened his arms and went stared at him in shock as she didn't move. Jungkook pulled her in his arm himself and hugged her tightly while snuggling in her nape. I'm sorry, he murmured softly and raised a brow in confusion. What was happening was beyond her imagination. Was she dreaming? Probably. Why? She heard herself speaking. We can't keep it. Her mind was telling her this will be his next word. Her eyes turned slowly as some tears started dripping from her eyes. I'm sorry, I won't able to give you comfort. Talk with me freely. You must be scared, love, and I was not there to comfort you. When ears rings, what was he even saying? She tried to look towards him, but he held her more tightly, not leaving. Jungkook, what are you saying? He looked towards her and wiped her tears with his thumb before leaving. On her forehead, when her heart was beating so fast, what was happening, she was not able to understand anything. I'm sorry, I was supposed to be with you when you need me. When you found out, a tear also rolled down his cheek and one heart dropped as she shakes her head as no, crying herself. You're not mad at me. Why could be mad at you, my love? To hide it from you, she shakes his head as no. I can understand, Noyan. You must be going through turmoil of emotions. I can also understand your hesitance and being scared. And besides that, I was supposed to be there with you, but I was not. When shakes her head. Don't say it. We're not in any official relationship anyways, he chuckled spitefully and hiccuped her cheeks. Then let's make it official. Wen took a shaky breath on his words as she took a step away from him. You're confusing me, Jungkook. She starts walking away from him and he follows her without a second thought. What is confusing? Everything happening at the moment. Are you saying you want to keep this? Why I don't want to keep it, my love, he murmured, tracing her cheeks. It's our first child, a token of our love. He smiles and one burst into more tears after listening his words. But you don't like children, she sobs, and he raised a brow. When did I say this? When we went to Amusement Park, she was sobbing hard while throwing a fist on his chest, and he put his hand on his mouth. When I meant other cats, and I said it because they were so loud there and in every party too, and that too they don't listen to anyone. But that doesn't count with my aunt Charles. She paused as she burst into more tears. I would love to have children of my own with you. He gently rested her head on his shoulder, and she cried silently. Were you worried because you think I don't like kids? She nods. And he rubs her hair soothingly. Oh, silly, wasn't it better if you talk with me yourself? I was Jungkook sobs with hiccups. Do you even have any idea how many negative scenarios I have made in my mind? She was crying while throwing light punches. He bent to her level and leaves him gentle on her forehead. I'm sorry, love, Aurelium. A few minutes passed and they stayed like this for a while and each starts some rest. You can now, she nods. Let's go back home and tell everyone. One who was walking stops in her track as her eyes widen in fear. Your mother will not accept me, Jungkook. She is my boss, for God's sake, and you're my boss's son. She shakes her head while he stares her, who was about to cry again, and with the next second, he swooped her in his arms and picked her effortlessly. She kissed and held him tightly. Reading, don't you dare to cry again when Chris said you're weak and may have a few complications too. So you need to especially take care of yourself. Do you even hear what I said? I did, and that's no problem how to convince her. But what if she didn't? He smiled savagely. No worries, I'm marrying anyways. In fact, you're trapped with me from today on. Either you like it or not, or anyone else approved or not. I don't care, so be ready to be Mrs. Young. He crawled to her cheeks on the intensity of his words. Only this man can change or mold her mood in a millisecond. Or if I don't want to marry you, she would tell low lip and he glared at her. Are you still stuck with me? He shrugs and she shakes her head in disbelief while giggling. Thanks for watching.